Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Olivia. I'm weird as hell. Woo! Or as you might now know me as GraveyardBaby. Because, you know, why the hell? I changed my name because I wanted to, okay, folks? Let's get on with it. So today I'm going to be telling you guys a story about my high school experience. A lot of people have asked me, because I've told a lot of people about my high school experience, and they're like, how the fuck did you survive high school? How did you survive high school? And this is how I survived it. But this one is one of the stories that really pisses me off, and I'm gonna try to tell this as quickly as I can because I don't want another 30-minute long story time. So yeah, so this all started off in 9th grade. I went to my high school because I originally wanted to go to an artsy high school, but unfortunately I didn't get in because, I'm not that artsy anymore. But still, I went to a normal high school, and I wanted to at least experience some kind of cheerleading experience while I was in high school. I didn't want to be official, like, cheerleader, like, yeah, party. Like, I didn't want to be like that all the time. I just wanted to at least, for 1 year, try doing cheerleading. So, yeah, I went in 9th grade. I found out like the first few days that our school did not have a cheerleading program, so I was like, well, there goes my chance of being a cheerleader out the window. But my second semester as a freshman, we found out that there was going to be a cheerleading coach or some kind of coordinator for cheerleading, and we're gonna name her, I don't know, Laura. That is her name. That's not actually her name. I'm just like, I don't want to get sued, so I'm gonna name her Laura. Laura was essentially our cheer coach. I didn't know if she had any experience or not, or according to her, she did. Now I don't think she did. So yeah, so she puts up a flyer at school saying, hey, Friday there are auditions for cheerleading squads. For the cheerleading squad, if you want to join. And my little dumbass was like, oh yeah, I'm auditioning. So essentially, I practiced the entire week. They said to have a dance routine prepared and a cheer prepared, which I am a dancer, or was a dancer. I don't dance anymore because, hello, have you seen me? I am a curvy girl. Curvy girls don't bounce in the correct areas. For me anyway, for me, not anybody else. But yeah, essentially she told us to do that and then have a cheer prepared. So I originally wanted to perform Hips Don't Lie by Shakira because it was the hottest song at the time. Yes, I am old. So then I had Cheers Don't Lie. So I essentially had Hips Don't Lie by Shakira ready to go, and then I had a cheer from the Princess Diaries that I love because it was the easiest cheer I can remember, and you can honestly mimic that cheer to any mascot you can. So I will insert that clip here of the cheer from the Princess Diaries.
How do you do? Strobe light saying hi to you. I'm Lana, Anna, Montana. Go Lion!
So yeah, our mascot was the bear. So instead of saying lion, I would say bear, because that was our school's mascot. So I went in Friday. It was after school. I told my mom I was gonna do some stuff for yearbook, which I was supposed to, but I didn't. And then essentially audition. And I went in. I was the first one to audition because I was the youngest. I was a freshman. I was the only freshman auditioning, which blew. But yeah, I was the only freshman, and the rest were like juniors, seniors, and I think there was like 2 sophomores. So I auditioned first. Thanks a lot, Laura. And I performed the entirety song of Hips Don't Lie. And after that, I would do my cheer and I leave. And I got a lot of positive, like, screaming and yelling from upperclassmen because I did have classes with upperclassmen. And I had one class with a lot of upperclassmen, and I was the only freshman, and it made me feel really smart. So then we have the entire weekend. She tells us everything will be posted on Monday, and whoever got on the squad got on the squad. So Monday comes around, I'm nervous the entire weekend. Like literally the entire weekend I'm freaking out because I'm like, what if I didn't make the squad? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not that great? But still, I wait the entire weekend, and then she doesn't post anything till after lunch. So I literally have to wait till probably homeroom to find out if I got in or not. So I walk by some of my upperclassmen friends, and they were like, hey, Shakira. And I was like, I don't know why they're calling me Shakira, but whatever. And one of my friends thought she was talking about them, like her. And I was like, okay. But yeah, so lunch passes by, there's nothing by her door. Homeroom comes by, and there's nothing at her door. And I'm like, okay, did she forget to do this or something? So essentially, she puts up the list. I'm on the squad. I'm the only freshman on the squad, and then a bunch of seniors and juniors are on the squad. And then we proceed to practice. Practice will be held Wednesday after school. So yeah. So here's the thing about my school. My school would let us out early on Wednesdays. So we would have like an hour to ourselves in the cafeteria to practice. So yeah. And then we were told that we were supposed to perform at the end of year assembly. Because our school had this thing where every year, at the end of the year, they would reflect on the year and how everything went. And they would have some kind of entertainment from clubs and stuff like that. So we wanted to warm up the crowd. So she volunteered us to warm up the crowd. And while practicing, she said I was a good cheerleader and I was very sporty and puppy and fun and So yeah, so essentially we performed. I got made fun of course, because I performed as a cheerleader. So everyone makes fun of me because of this cheer thing, and then the year ends. And then I, during the summer, had a lot of issues where my ex-boyfriend and I had broken up, and I started becoming more scene and emo and goth. Mostly scene and emo, not goth yet, but still. So essentially I come back the next year, and I'm assuming I'm gonna be like some kind of assistant cheerleader or something. I don't know, like she said something about us when we left my freshman year that the returning team would be like a little higher up, so we would be higher than the new team coming in. But when I came back, we didn't have a tryout or cheer practice for a month into the school. At this point, I'm a sophomore, and I just like kind of like started checking out slowly but surely, and I didn't want to be a cheerleader anymore, and I didn't want to go to practice. So a month into school, we start our cheerleading tryouts and our practices. I was told that I was gonna be some kind of like assistant, a cheer captain or something, and then when I come back and I find out, no, I'm not. A bunch of my sophomore friends had joined the squad, but they were magically picked as cheer captains. I don't know. Essentially, we recruit a bunch of freshmen, we start the squad again, and we have our first game. At this point in time, I'm starting to lose interest in cheerleading because I was more into like my music, and not my music, but music in general, and acting and doing all this other stuff. And I remember we had our first home game or away game, and this was like 3 towns over, where a lot of us didn't have a car. Uber and Lyft didn't exist back then, so we would literally have to go in a car with one of the security guards from where we lived 3 towns over a bridge, and we would cheer. And not to mention, we weren't even allowed to cheer on the fucking ground because we weren't considered official cheerleaders. We weren't allowed to cheer on the ground with the other cheerleaders. Like, literally, like, we couldn't see much of the game. We ended up losing that game, by the way, but yeah. So essentially, when we come back home, my mom had to come with me because of course I'm underage. She doesn't know where I'm going. My mom tells me, you were having a miserable time there, and I can tell. I just want you to know that I don't want you to do this anymore. It's up to you if you want to continue, but if you don't want to continue, you know, I'm not gonna like say, oh no, you should continue, this is the best thing in the world. If you don't want to, it's fine. So That game was on a Saturday. I had all Sunday to think about it, and on Sunday night I told my mom, I'm not interested in cheerleading anymore. I'm just gonna quit. So Monday morning comes around, I go to school, I go find her. Laura's not there. She's not there, she's not at school today. So I go in Tuesday, I tell her straight up, hey, I'm sorry, family comes first. I made up some kind of excuse like my mom is sick and I have to miss a lot of school, so I'll miss a lot of practice. So I'm not gonna be able to be a cheerleader anymore. And she's like, she gives me this look of like, really, bitch? Like, really? So Laura is just looking at me and she's like, okay. So I just need you to turn in your uniform. We don't have uniforms. The only thing we had as a uniform was our gym shirts that literally just said our high school name on it. And I was like, well, the one I'm wearing is my gym shirt that I bought for gym. And Laura was like, okay then, you're excused from the squad then. But I'm very disappointed in you. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll see you in the halls. And I leave. So everyone finds out I left the squad, and they were like, oh, it sucks that you're leaving, and I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of family stuff right now, so I can't really focus on cheerleading. So yeah, so then a few weeks later, my dad comes home from tour. He used to do a lot of tech for like bands and stuff. I think he liked touring, so yeah. My dad comes home, and I just wanted to spend as much time with my dad as possible before he went on to his next tour, which I think was a month later. So yeah, so one day, and this is where the story starts. So that was just a preface. So one day I wake up really late. I'm talking about an hour and a half after school started. So my school started at 8. I woke up at 10. Why did my alarm go off that day? But I wake up, I'm like, Dad, my alarm didn't go off. And my dad was like, okay, go get dressed. You know, are you sure you want to go to school? It's already like 10:30. You can just skip the school day. I'll call in and say you're sick or something. And I'm like, no, I gotta go to school. I gotta go turn this thing in. I don't even remember what I had to turn in, but I think it was like a paper or something. So I was like, I have to go to school. I have to turn this in. I'll see you after school. And he thought I was going to cheerleading practice. He goes, are you going to cheerleading practice? And I was like, I'm not a cheerleader anymore, Dad. I haven't been a cheerleader like in 3 months. So then I grabbed all my stuff. I showered. I did everything I could as fast as I possibly can, and I ran towards my school. Mind you, my high school from my house is about a 15 to 20 minute walk. Or I could take the bus and get there in 5 minutes. But I didn't want to that day, so it took me another 15 minutes to get to school. So I essentially got to school at 10:45. So yeah, and I remember it was a Tuesday, because this was the thing. So our school worked Mondays. We would have all our schedules for our whole schedule for 30 minutes a piece, I think. And then we would have blocks scheduled the rest of the week. So Tuesdays and Thursdays we would have first period, second period, lunch, and then third, and then homeroom. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays we would have fourth, fifth, lunch, sixth. And on Wednesdays we got out early, so then from 6 you would go home on Wednesdays, but on Fridays you would go to homeroom again. So that's how our schedule worked, and I was already late for second period, which blew. So I walk into the school and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go to the office and get a late pass, fuck. So I walk over to the office, and I'm a TA in the office during this part of my high school career, and my essential boss sees me and she's like, hey, what happened? I'm like, I overslept. My alarm didn't go off. I'm so sorry. I'm late for second period. I gotta turn in this paper before I get in a lot of trouble. And then Laura sees me. Oh shit. So she tells my boss, I think her name was, let's call her Lisa. So she tells Lisa not to worry, that she was gonna take care of it. So she tells me to go sit in her office. So mind you, Lisa's desk, so imagine this is Lisa's desk, right? And then Laura's office is right here, right in front of her. And there's a window you can see into it and everything, so yeah. So she tells me to not worry about it, that I'm gonna take care of it. She tells me to sit down, and Laura goes and grabs my permanent file. I still to this day do not understand why she wanted to go get my personal file, because I've seen my personal file working in the office. Like, I just go through my personal stuff and like, I was bored. Like I would do most of my work within like an hour of being there, and then the other hour I would just be like, cool. I could just fuck around if I wanted to, but not really. But yeah, so she grabs my personal file. She goes, you know, you've been late to work. You know, you've been late to school this year 27 times. This bitch has been counting how many times I've been late to school. And I'm like, yeah, because I've been with my mom translating for her and taking care of her. Not to mention, I have a doctor's note every time I'm late to school. Because there was this point in time in my high school career during my sophomore year where every Monday I would have to go with my mom to a doctor's appointment. So they were all excused, like late, like they were excused. There was not doctor notes in there. And then a couple of times I've been late twice, but it was because I overslept or the bus didn't come or something, I don't know. So she's like, you've been late that many times. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm taking care of my mom. My dad's not around as much because he's touring. So then she goes on this wonderful spiel. Oh, the spiel that she gave me. So Laura tells me, you know, with your grades and the way you're going in your life, you're not gonna really amount to anything. Look at you, where's that spunky young girl I met last year who wanted to cheer and wanted to be everything she ever wanted to be? And now look at you now, this goth girl listening to metal and darkness and things like that. You know you're not gonna amount to anything. You know, people who look like you end up working at McDonald's or in drugs. What? Is this woman crazy? You're telling a 15-year-old girl, because of the way she looks, she's gonna amount to nothing, work at McDonald's, or do anything in her life. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's in my head. And I'm like, well, the spunky girl is still here. I just choose to dress differently. Now, mind you, when I was a freshman in high school, I didn't know what the fuck my look was. So I don't have that many pictures of me in high school in my freshman year. But like, I would just be like, you know, wear whatever I wanted and I would still be bubbly and shit. But sophomore year, I started changing up my look. I started wearing more black. I started wearing band shirts and shit. So essentially to her, I was going to hell or amount to nothing, and because of the way I dressed. So I just tell her, like, I'm still that bubbly girl, and she goes, well, you know, you might just drop out of high school and you're gonna become a drug addict. Look at the way you're dressing. Look at the way you are. This isn't you. You need to focus on what's really right for you. You want to go to college, the colleges are not going to accept you like that. The way you look, by covering your hair like that. No one's going to take you seriously in life. Again, she is telling this to a 15-year-old girl. She's not even a guidance counselor. She's not even a guidance counselor. So essentially, I just ignored her and I was like, okay, I'll try to dress differently after she called me a drug addict and all this bullshit, and that I'm not gonna amount to anything in my life. Okay. So then I'm like, can I please have my late pass? I need to go to second period. So she lets me go off to second period. Hi, it's me in the future editing. So I realized this video alone is gonna be like 20 minutes long. So instead of me making a very long video, I'm just gonna cut it here and then I'll make the second part another story. And I will be uploading that right after this one. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know if you ever got bullied by one of your high school teachers or anything like that. I have way more stories than this with this person. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.